Show you a few of the forms that I have updated, the measuring forms and the work order forms. You can see here, I'm going to go over to the sample notebook, and we'll go up to the little dots at the top so you can look at each one. Here is the new measuring form for a tub shower combination. You'll notice that the treatment information now is on the left and the client information is on the right. And this helps me to remember to actually use the treatment information. Then over on the right, I have moved the notes and have a pretty large area for you to fill that in. And at the bottom, I just have a couple of lines for you to add the fabric, just for the simple reason we only have a couple of fabrics we usually use on a shower location. Here you'll see the quad. This is the old one. Let me show you the new one. So I'm going to hit the plus at the top and I'm going to say add page below. Then I'm going to scroll down, and you can scroll pretty quickly because you can see, since it's only one window per page, it pops up, lets you pop it up pretty quickly. So here you can see how that's a little bit different. Here in the old one, the fonts were rather small and you couldn't read it as easily. And now whenever you go to the new one, all the fonts are larger, a little bit cleaner, a place for notes at the very bottom. Then here is an arch on a triple window, an eyebrow, an arch on a double. And you can see the setup looks the same on each one. Then there's a double window. Here is the old measuring system. Here's the new measuring system. This is the bedspread and a duvet. This is our Roman. I've added the unlined information on the left. At the top, I've added your board information. And if you're going to do banded or hobbled, or all the different options there. I've also changed how you fill out as far as making your mathematical information for face, lining, and inner lining. Here's the back. Now, and I use two. Yes, I have two forms, a front and a back. And of course, on the iPad, it makes it 2 sheets of paper. I have my finished cuts. And the reason I like this is because on the front page, I do all of my figuring and calculations on what I'm going to do. And then on this page, it's the actual finished cuts, the finished lengths and widths, so that I can just easily glance at that without seeing all of the other things that I've tried to decide how I was going to do it and all my cuts I was going to make. Cushions, just the same basic cushions, just a little bit more information that you can have there for you, whether it's boxed, knife edge, Turkish corners, upholstery seats. This is cushions, and then whether they're lined or not. I left that on there because there are times I have to line and interline mine. I've not ever done blackout on mine, but I'm sure that some have. Here is the back portion of the cushion. Again, the cuts, your embellishment you might need, any type of detail attachments you've got on those cushions, along with what type filler you'll be using. Dust ruffles. The same basic dust ruffles I've left there. And then the calculation box on the right, I did leave the termination calculation there, since it's ends and sides and things, just to keep it from being confusing of what you might go back and look at that later and think, what did I do and where did that go? So, but I did do 3 columns so that it could be lining, face fabric, inner lining. Then the back side, same thing. Your side cuts and your end cuts, your linings. If you have a special lining, there's enough room there to write that in. Also on the front page, where it says inner lining and lining here, you can actually write in the color of lining or interlining or blackout that you have chose to use. Over on the right hand side, I went ahead and enlarged what type of pins or decking that we'll be using to attach that dust skirt to the bed. And I use a tag gun a lot, so I added tag gun to that information. And then you notice how I just drug the dust skirt to the left a little, and that just duplicated that dust skirt. So let's go back, and I'm going to go to options at the bottom, and this is how you put your templates in. Now I want to show you a few things that people that are new might not know about GoodNotes 4 on how they can do the templates when they're in there. So let's go to our templates, and first let's look at the templates. I have several different things. I have some just standard paper that I use sometimes when I just want to make more notes. Some of my designers like to walk through the home first and me make notes, and then I go back and measure. So I have that on the very beginning of the page for that. Then of course my measuring forms, I have all of those in order. Then I have my work order favorites. I don't use all the work orders all the time, but I do have my favorites. Like draperies is first. I do more draperies from my workroom, so I do it first. Then I do Romans a lot, so I have that second. I do a lot of bedding, and I do a lot of cushions and pillows. So I have all of those right in that one little small tab, so I don't have to go through all of them. But then here I have all the work orders. So let's go back with that arrow. Now I also have Tableau information in my templates, so I can do that easily if I'm on a job and need that information. I also have my check-in forms. I have this style check-in form, and I have an installation tag. Also, we have got the checklist there, so I can easily bring that into the client's folder. We'll bring that in and look at it. The fabric check-in tags, the one I use that I've got on for the 5164 that you can print out on labels that stick. So you can just stick them right to that fabric when it comes in. Then I also have a client swatch card that I can add to the folder so that I can quickly just add any fabrics that my designer or client has picked onto that card, so I have a reference later on, so I don't have to clutter up my work area of my measuring sheet or my work order form. So let's go back to the notebook and let's add some of those things. So I'm going to hit that plus at the top, and this time I'm going to click on add page below. And I'm going to pick my installation tabs, and I can, if I needed to, print straight from this area. And that's what's really great. You don't even think about that maybe that label will get lost, or maybe there's someone saying that that's not what you had on the label. So you can actually fill in your labels here in your iPad, and then print it, send it to your printer, and have your labels in there that this will print straight onto your label. And I know you probably haven't thought about doing it that way. Then you have a record of the installation tag that you gave that installer for that piece of that drapery. And then let's add one more below, and let's look at the fabric check-in tags. They work the same way. I've got them set for a 5164, I think it's the number, and they're the Avery labels. So this would print directly to the printer. You would fill all this in and then just hit print. Now, then you would have a record in that client's folder of exactly what you printed, so that you can do that, and it helps to coordinate that fabric, and then you have the record right there for you. Then let's look at some of the other things I've got. Let's see, the checklist. So on this one, you can just enlarge that with your fingers, and this would be something you put at the first of your notebook on your iPad. Your appointment confirmation, brochures, just the reminders of everything that you've got ready to go for that client. It would also help you if you wanted to get photos ready on your iPad, that you would have all that taken care of before you left the office. So let's see what else we've got. So I'm going to add a below, and let's see. Oh yes, here is our fabric check-in. This is our clients that you would print. So you could actually put each one of the fabrics that you are using on this job, on this sheet, add your logo, and type in your address, and you can actually email this to the client. Now, you may want to actually print this and put actual fabric swatches on it, and then actually keep the digital fabrics with the names on your card in your file. So that's just another way to keep everything together and keep it all at hand and organized. So that's a little bit about the new forms and everything that's been updated. I'll be looking for everybody to send in ideas. If there's something you would add, I'm also offering, if you want these customized for you, I'll do that for you. On these client sheets, I'll be glad to add your logo, and I can also email you the Word document that you can add your logo. So that is an option that you would have. So I hope this has helped you understand some of the updates that's taken place on the measuring forms and the work orders, and some of the things that we'll be offering. Thank you very much.